So I think this is a fantastic case for the progression of the rights of same-sex couples in Hong Kong. This particular case, the case of Leung against the Secretary for the Civil Service and the Commissioner for Inland Revenue, was focused on spousal benefits and also the joint assessment of tax. And Leung brought his case saying that he wanted his partner, Mr. Adams, to have those same benefits and to be able to be jointly assessed for tax. It went through various stages. It went through the Court of First Instance, the Court of Appeal, and then the decision we've just had is a Court of Final Appeal, so the final decision on this. And it went in the favour of Leung, which is, obviously very positive. The arguments that were put forward in that case were interesting. So the government said that they agreed that the decisions by the Secretary and the Commissioner were indirectly discriminatory against same-sex couples, but that this could be justified, objectively justified, on the basis that it was protecting the sanctity of marriage in terms of what that means to Hong Kongers. And Leung said that he also agreed that could be a legitimate aim, that protecting the sanctity of marriage could be a legitimate aim. But the way in which the Secretary and the Commission had gone about trying to achieve that legitimate aim was not rationally connected. And there was an interesting quote, if you don't mind, I'll just look at it, the quote from the judgment, which I think summed up quite well, which is, how is it said that allowing Mr. Adams' medical and dental benefits weakens the institution of marriage in Hong Kong? And I think that basically is what the case kind of turned on, is that allowing these benefits, allowing the joint assessment of tax, is not going to put any opposite-sex couple off getting married. It's not going to put people off this traditional concept of marriage. And so that's how they came about to win. And it makes sense, I think, that this case has gone this way, because we had, prior to that, the case of QT against the Director of Immigration, which found that the immigration policy not allowing same-sex couples to apply for dependence visas was also discriminatory against same-sex couples. So we've now got these two decisions that are going in favour of same-sex couples, and there's some more coming through the pipeline too. So I think we'll talk about those a bit more in a moment. But in terms of this case and its implications right now, what it means, because it's judicial review, what it means is that the civil service regulations have to be revised or interpreted to be favourable to same-sex couples. So it can't be the case anymore that the civil service can't allow spousal benefits to be applicable to same-sex couples. And it also means that going forward, the Inland Revenue Ordinance has to be amended or interpreted to ensure that same-sex couples can be jointly assessed for tax. The implications for the private sector, that's less clear. This is not directly applicable to the private sector. This was a judicial review. It's a public sector case. But my belief is that this decision will force the international companies and some of the larger local companies to really think about their policies and ensure that when they have policies that set out benefits for spouses, they make sure that's applicable to same-sex couples as well as opposite-sex couples. And you may also see some other changes, such as equality statements being inclusive of sexual orientation as well, so protecting that as well. So hopefully we'll see some wider ripples through the whole community, the whole workplace community here in Hong Kong.